Hello! I've got a sketchbook tour today. Just for reference, this is not really a new sketchbook. This is from like 5 years ago. So, it's about time I did this. But this was from my freshman year of college, and this is the first proper sketchbook that I actually treated like an actual sketchbook. This was for a class, but as far as the actual sketchbook goes, I would not really recommend this specific one because it says it's medium weight paper, but oh boy, the paper is so thin and even ballpoint pen was bleeding through at certain points. So you'll see that. But anyway, onto the actual stuff that you're here for. Here we have page 1. We got a lot of Keiths. The good old Voltron era. Little baby hippo. I was really trying hard here. I was super nervous as a freshman. And I was like, oh no, I have to fill the entire page for this sketchbook class. And it has to be good because I'm getting graded on it, so there was a bit of pressure there for that. Practiced some wings. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's a little bit faded by now. And I think part of that's just the paper quality, but you're probably gonna see a lot of Danny Phantom because I love Danny Phantom so much. Okay, here's Exhibit A of bleeding through stuff. We had this assignment to draw shrimp. So we had to draw a shrimp from memory, and obviously that does not look like a shrimp. Then we had to draw a couple shrimp using reference, and then draw another one off memory after our practice. And it's much better, as you can see. So remember, people, use references. The thing that's supposed to be on this page is Isaiah, but as you can see, this little shark merm lady was bleeding through really badly. My professor really wanted me to use both sides of the sketchbook, which is fair, I usually do that these days, but man, this paper just was not good for that. This was just a hand stabilizing, like, what would you call it? Like practice, I guess. And as you can see, the Copic bled through really badly on this drawing, as did the ballpoint pen, but in the paper's defense, I will say, I had to go over each of these lines, I think, 7 or 8 times, so that probably didn't help. This was like week 1 into the semester and I was already losing it. So it's just a bunch of comics of me raging about art.
No! No! No!
A tiny little flame on my head. I didn't really know what to draw, so I just did an apple using a red, yellow, and blue, I think it was oil pastel? Random elf lady. Oh my goodness. So this is a character of mine. His name is Reese. He looks fairly different now. Maybe I'll do something with him eventually. And then we had an assignment to draw 100 thumbnails. So I had a banana and a mug, and I had to draw 100 different thumbnails of just these 2 items. And thankfully, the shape of the thumbnail would count as something different, so that's why you see all the wonky shapes. The rest of the 100. This was with highlighters, and I think that's the first time I ever used highlighters to color anything. It's not too bad. These I definitely used reference for. I like the little hedgehog. My professor gave us this picture of a birdhouse, and we were supposed to deconstruct it and like draw all the lines in perspective. And I did not much care for this assignment, so I drew an angry bird instead of another house, because I did not want to do all of this all over again. A random tree. I remember really liking this when I first made it. This gives me Maximum Ride vibes. These were just some pose practices, I believe. And for this, I got a prompt online for a teacher with long, messy hair that wants to dominate the world. I love this kid's bowl cut. His hair is so wacky. My professor really liked this one because she said I basically just drew her. Studies. More studies. I didn't want to do it again, so I drew a little dragon instead of doing that again. Will burn art for food. This one I remember really liking because I actually put a background in it, which, as you will notice, I don't tend to do a lot of backgrounds. I'm trying to get better about that, but it's a work in progress. This is Tyler Joseph, singer of 21 Pilots, and we had an assignment to go around campus and draw buildings, which is not something I'm really in the habit of doing. So this was an experience for me because, yeah, I'm not used to that at all. So, turn it on the side so you can see stairs in the library. More buildings. We had to draw a lot of buildings. This was my roommate's side of the room. I think I'm finally over that show. Hey, the new season came out today. Primal Scream. The chins are horrifying, but I think this is one of my favorite drawings in the whole sketchbook because of the chaos it brings. We have some random robot lady. I don't know. Yep, there it is. Let me tell you about this page. Obviously, this was for one of my assignments for the drawing class, but this paper would not take the charcoal at all. Like, I had to try so hard to keep it from completely wiping off the page. I know you're supposed to smear charcoal a little bit, right? But the charcoal was straight up not sticking at all. So I had to be really careful not to bump anything, otherwise it would completely come off. And I sprayed this with like 10 layers of fixative to get it to stay there. So I was a little bit salty working on this one. This is just a complete brain dump of nonsense. It's like little doodles I would make as a kid. This one, I remember I colored with crayon, which is not normal for me. More Danny Phantom and Vlad. This one was a school assignment. We got a little skeleton and pumpkins. It was October, spooky season. Obviously, I couldn't really do anything on the back of this page, because, yeah. And another black and white drawing. These are thumbnails for the midterm, I believe. Okay, so this drawing, I was like, I'm gonna draw a vampire! And in my brain, I knew that crosses were associated with vampires sometimes. And then my roommate looked at it and she was like, you know crosses are bad for vampires, right? Like, you just killed this vampire. And I thought, oh! Whoops! Poor guy. So this page was not originally in this sketchbook. This is completely different paper because I needed it for this ink wash. But I didn't want it sticking out of my sketchbook the whole time. So I got an X-Acto knife and made all these little holes and inserted it into the page. Well, I inserted the page into the book. And my teacher called me extra, but, you know, I didn't want it hanging out of the book. This was my first time doing an ink wash. I still have this mug. I love it. It's my favorite. Practice for the midterm. Practice for the midterm. If I can find the final, I'll probably put it up there. And if not, then, oh well, I guess. But I think I have it somewhere.
Nope.
Pidge. I was still in the Voltron era, I see. Dead Inside. This was another one of my favorites. I got glitter everywhere doing this, though. There's probably still glitter on the floor of that room, honestly. Little mermaid drawing. I remember really liking these. I did use reference for the poses, so that helped a lot. I don't know why I didn't color them though, because I really liked them, and normally I like to color things if I really liked them, but maybe I just didn't have time. A koi fish and a very dapper snail. Hand studies. I hate it, but it's necessary. Homework versus my free time. That is my entire college experience right there. We had this assignment to do textures on cubes, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. And I thought it turned out pretty good. This looks like it's squishing the cat, though. I wasn't a huge fan of this one, even when I drew it. And, yep, still not really a fan. Definitely used a reference for this pose, but I liked how it turned out. And see, look, no background, once more. I drew a picture of myself in a pile of killer whales, because I love killer whales. This is, kind of a recreation of a drawing I made in high school, which I'll include here for you if I remember to. That boy riding a fidget spinner. What a memey time. Thumbnails for the final of the class. And more practice for the final. I'll include the final here as well, if I can find a nice picture of it.
Nope.
Random guy. So we had to do our final in dip pen, which I'd never used before. So I wanted to get some practice in before I actually used it, because I was really scared. So I did this in dip pen. Oh, this is where I stopped drawing on both sides of the page. I just gave up. Couldn't do it anymore. I was tired of everything bleeding through. So more dip pen practice. Lance annoying Pidge. I don't know why, but I decided to draw some ovals and then make them into animals. And then I spelled their names horribly incorrectly. But that was the vibe for the day, I suppose. I think I saw a really pretty dress online, and I just wanted to draw the dress. Melanie Martinez. I believe that's Copic marker. Oh no, this is another just doodle page. That looks like Baymax, but with wings. Terrifying. Ah yes, the struggles of long hair. Yay, ice cream! Then the wind comes in. You fiend! I always get my hair, like, in my food somehow, because of the wind or whatever. That is the struggle of long hair. Oh no, you'd better watch out! Got Santa Claus looming over a turkey. It really does feel like that sometimes, doesn't it? A chorus of sad recorders. You can tell I'm really losing motivation here, because this is nearing the end of my class. So I'm just trying to get this done. A random hot air balloon. Is it in focus? Hello? This was the last page for the class. So I drew myself with little air horns and victory. So everything else from here is not class related at all. And this is a study of someone from Instagram who I follow. Their name's Mangakuwa983. He's great. His art is wonderful. This is also a study from him. I really like the way he draws people. I believe this is another study. It looks like his style. And then I drew Lance. So this drawing, I noticed something wrong with it, and now every time I look at it, all I see is that mistake. Ooh, little merman dude. Another mermaid. As you can see, I enjoy mermaids. This one I used a reference, which is why it's so much better than the others. Oh, I was trying to play around with the design of my character Reese. Some of these are terrifying, but this is the one that I liked. I think I drew this in my college algebra class. I would always draw in that class. Oh wow, we have nothing. This tiny little thing. Great. Oh, we have more nothing.
Go girl, give us nothing!
It's a little scary. Oh, Maka! I need to rewatch that show. It was a good show. These are, I think, photography notes. I actually went straight to pen with this, which is not something I was in the habit of doing. I think this is one of the first times I actually tried doing pen sketches without any pencil, and I was a little terrified. But they turned out okay. Wow, talk about unfinished art. I think I was trying to figure out, like, an avatar to make for myself, I believe. Yeah, and then, like, different angles of it. I think this was gonna be a Danny Phantom drawing, but I never finished it, as you can see. Once the class ended, it's like all motivation just out the window. Random creature called a skidoodle. I was trying to do different angles of my character. I think I intended on filling the whole page, but that never happened. Yikes! We're just gonna move on from that. Okay, here's one that's at least inked. Oh, it's a little Dumbo octopus. I love Dumbo octopus. If you've never seen a Dumbo octopus before, please look it up. They're so cute. I love them. I didn't even bother to finish shading his hair. Love the commitment. Nico D'Angelo. I'm pretty sure I was copying an image for this one, I believe. This one was heavily referenced as well, so that's why it looks so good. It was heavily referenced. I think she's supposed to be blowing a bubble, like with bubble gum. This face is terrifying. I understand why I didn't finish it. This one, okay, I actually just recently, like 5 years later, recreated this drawing digitally, and I'll put that over there because I really liked this one because of the tiny blob here saying "end my suffering." I thought it was Mimi, so I redrew it. That's terrifying. Okay, an actual good picture of Nico. Gotta love him. I think that's also Nico. Apparently I was having a Nico phase. Character Reese, different expressions. There he is again. Way off in the corner. Wow, I was really making a lot of just tiny little faces and moving on, wasn't I? Okay, this one actually fills the page. I don't think I had a reference for this one, so I was fairly pleased with it, I remember. Random guy. I think I was trying to work on my female character who was supposed to be in the same story as Reese. I think that's who she is. Namjoon! This is the first time I ever drew a BTS member. Wow. This is the first one, ladies and gents. So that's where my BTS phase started. Unfinished sketch. It's Yoongi. I remember really liking this one. I was pretty proud of it. Because I had never really focused on drawing actual portraits of people before, so I was happy with it. I think that's Reese and Taehyung. I think we start having a lot of BTS pictures. Yeah, here's Namjoon again, although he looks like a child. This is baby Namjoon. Oh, hang on. There's a plane flying by. Little pen sketches, but they're what is it looks like Patrick. I was trying to figure out how to sketch like more realistic people, but with it still being a sketch and not being a full-fledged drawing. So we have Jungkook, Yoongi, and Taehyung. And then Jin. Jin is my bias from BTS. My friend drew these, and I love them. I love her art. I was going to practice drawing feet on this page, and then I drew 2, and I gave up. So I drew a little person down here saying, "Only 2 feet and you're already giving up? Come on now." Like, even back then, I knew that that wasn't the best, but at least I was self-aware. I kind of like the little effect I was doing with the highlighters here. I don't know what's going on, but kind of wild. I drew a Jungkook and a J-Hope. Just random people. This cat, I must have used a reference for this cat because, especially at this time, I don't think I would have been able to draw that cat normally without a reference. Sleepy dude. I was practicing my Japanese here, so for anyone wondering, the word sleepy is namuri in Japanese. The more you know. And here we are, the final page of this sketchbook. Sad little chibi me. Finally, I'm done with this awful paper. Freedom. Little Gudetama up in the corner. Yeah, you could tell I really lost motivation at the end there, huh? Like, in the beginning for class, there's all this color and like line work, and then at the end it's like, ah yes, hardly anything on the page. But part of that was due to me hating the paper in this sketchbook. So I was ready to be done with it, needless to say. But there it is, there's sketchbook number 1 from, that was 2017 to 2018. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Feel free to drop a comment, and thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you for the next one.